It's weird now changing hats. I've got my actor's hat on, and I've had to put Mr. Writer-Man away in a box, and I've just tried to be an actor as much as possible. Like, even though James and I have worked on it for so long, once it got to this point, he's gone into doing his job, I'm doing my job, so it's good. I'm very respectful. I never say, but that close-up of me is way better. Never. You've got this huge marketplace for films. It's Hollywood, for God's sake, as if our little film's going to get noticed. You know, first-time director, first-time actor. So on the plane on the way over there, we were thinking it was a waste of money. We were like, it was such a 1 week in LA, as if, and then on the plane on the way home, it was like, USA, USA. So we were pretty happy when we came back. I can only talk about my perspective from the other side of the world, as Hollywood's this really tough town. It's impossible to get anything happening. You know, people get burnt all the time, but thus far we've had such an easy ride. Either we're heading for a big fall, or we've just got really good luck. But yeah, everyone tells us that we should be thanking our lucky stars, so I guess this isn't, in my view, this is the norm. But lots of people have been telling me, no, this isn't the norm at all. This is not how it usually goes. He just pitched the sort of small premise of the film, which was two guys in a bathroom going at it. One has to kill the other, and so I was going, yeah, that's pretty good. And whenever I don't like one of James's ideas, I say, yeah, that's good. So I said, yeah, that's good. And he's like, oh. And then I hung up, and then I went away and thought about it and rang him up, and I said, no, wait, it's really good.
Zepp is one of those frightening neutrals that we hope are not wandering around our culture in numbers. You know what I mean? He's one of those little men that are always on the periphery of things until they go haywire and do something so dramatic that it becomes newsworthy. And then everyone that was ever around them says, I'm so surprised. He was such a mild-mannered fellow. Never heard a peep out of him. The script was attractive because it's very tightly written, and even as you're reading it, you see that it has a ferocious pace, and it's sort of relentlessly shocking and in your face. There are no supernatural beings or superhuman powers involved, and there isn't gratuitous bloodletting. It would be fairer to say that this is a sort of detective thriller of the more grisly variety. I've never really worked on action things before, you know, fighting and chasing and wrestling with weapons and being beaten over the head and all these things which are kind of technically interesting, but a little hair-raising in the moment sometimes. So yeah, it's been a hoot. The writers and director of this film, James and Leigh, they had a really good idea, which was they went ahead and filmed a scene from the movie to show us how it will go, the kinds of effects they're looking for, the kind of camera work and pacing and all of that, and it's very convincing. It's short, but shocking and very, very artfully and cleverly done. You know, you look at this thing and you say, wow, I can't imagine how good that would be when it was with full resources.
I play a guy, Dr. Lawrence Gordon, who Dr. Gordon has a level of arrogance to him because his life has been so perfect and so easy and so smooth, and he's so used to people kowtowing to him and kissing his behind, and you know, that he's sort of, his head has grown a little. And so, because everything is so smooth and his family life is so perfect and everything's just fine, that he decides to you know, live on the edge a little, and it's what gets him into trouble. The spirit of this production, of everyone showing up and making their incredible contributions and doing it with love and with passion, clearly not for the money. It's like, you know, I feel blessed. I'm like going, God, we're so lucky. Look at this incredible team that we've assembled, you know? We're completely fortunate. I mean, James looks at me and he goes, how did I get here? I can't believe it, you know? And I said, well, you've earned it, you know? You've worked hard, and this is the payoff for all your hard work, you know? I walked around the first couple of days with everyone going, isn't the script amazing? The script is amazing. You know, and you never hear that on a movie set. You never hear crew members saying that, ever. You know, and most of them are very jaded. I mean, you know, they've been around, they've seen it all, you know, and they're like, yeah, sure, when's lunch, you know? But these guys are passionate, and they really love what they're doing, and they love the story. And we've been shooting, I mean, we've shot 60% of the movie in 6 days. I mean, that's unheard of, you know? I mean, we've been going like gangbusters from the get-go. But we're getting some wonderful stuff in the can, so I'm very happy with that, and I feel proud and privileged to be among this incredible team. Because James has this vision and has had it in his head for 2 years, I mean, Leigh, when you sit down with him, I'm sure he'll tell you that the first thing he said to me, he said, well, I have to sit down and listen to James tell me every shot by shot of how this movie's going to look. I'm going to go out of my blooming mind, you know? And I was like, you know, they've thought it out, every detail, you know? So, you know, if this was a studio movie, he wouldn't have the ability to be an auteur on this film, you know? And so his vision is what you're going to get, absolutely. If you're lucky enough and fortunate enough to have a director who provides an environment that you feel so comfortable in that you feel like you can try anything. And that's creativity. That is like, okay, let's try it this way, or, you know, try it that way, where the direction is so, it's so small, and he's giving you little notes here and there, but they're the exact thing that you need to hear.